Hello and welcome to the Football Banter Box, a Derby Day special, the fallout from the Sunderland Newcastle Derby. What a game! What a game!
Out. That's it.
How are the lads? How are the lads?
I don't mean that.
What about it? What went on?
Well,
Mr. Brobby. Oh, he's an absolute beast.
I'm just speechless. I just can't believe that we've lost not only to Sunderland but newly promoted Sunderland. It's just top the season off of as how poor we've been.
11 in a row. 11 derbies unbeaten. It's not good enough.
And you've actually surpassed us now in terms of wins and draws and things.
You're one ahead.
So at the moment, until next year, hopefully we can put it right. Sunderland are the top dogs.
So
I've got no argument. I've got no argument anymore.
I can feel it.
But yeah, just devastated to lose in the 90th minute, and devastated to lose the second game of the season against Sunderland. And you know, the worst thing is that's not the only red and white team that's done the double over us. Brentford done it as well. So we just can't beat the red and whites. We just can't do it. What's going on?
Got some fantastic stats, right? So we've had 74 seasons in the same league. There's only been 18 seasons while we've done the double on each other.
Right.
So we're both tied now on 9. So the last time you did the double on us was 2005, 2006, and then obviously we've had a few seasons of doing it since then. But we've both beat each other in the same season 9 times, and this season's one of them.
Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? High flies in the Champions League, the Newcastle, the best the furthest we've ever went, the best we've ever done, like the best in shape we've ever been, and newly promoted Sunderland against all odds have done it. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. Regardless of injuries, players missing, every team has injuries. We still got beat twice this season, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough for where Newcastle are aspiring to be.
Has Eddie got to go? Or the players got to go?
No, still Eddie in, and
Eddie Howe.
No. I'm still Eddie in. A lot of people are saying, like fans like me, have still got the blinkers on from the Carabao Cup final, but they're not taking into consideration. It had a dreadful transfer market in the summer. We lost our best goal scorer. We brought in players that were maybe a bit too old. Yes, Prem proven. So I think we overpaid for a lot of those players. And just going back to the Brentford thing, I think they're seen as coming because they've sold us Wissa, who got injured, who's now 30. And, you got this new young striker in Thiago, took 50 million off us and took 6 points off us. So
you brought Voltamade in, scored against you. He won the first time.
Oh my God.
What a player.
Yeah, Voltamade, lost the derby for us.
It would have been.
You just can't write it, actually. It's quite comical when you think about it.
The first derby, that header was easier not to score than it was to score. I don't know how he managed to score it, but he did.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe has been nominated for Manager of the Month. That's laughable. He's beaten United, he's beaten Chelsea, he's been beaten by Sunderland.
But this whole month, he's also been knocked out by City in the FA Cup.
And he's been thrashed by Barcelona.
He's been thrashed, yeah. He's been
7-2.
But this is
7-2.
But this is one of the points that I wanted to bring up, why this has happened and why we got trashed against City. And I think there's some deeper lying issues that Newcastle have got that they need to address in the summer, and they need to have a big overhaul, in my opinion. A lot of the players that are there now are not technical enough, not good enough footballers. I think, when we had our best season, we were only playing once a week in the Premier League. When we finished 4th, we didn't really have a decent cup run. And Eddie's style is very high intensity, high pressing, but you can't always play that way, and we haven't been always able to play that way. Players are getting injured.
Right, let's have some quick yes or no's then. So sell or keep?
Yeah.
Nick Pope.
Sell, he's got to go.
Ramsdale.
Well, he's only on loan.
Mm.
I wouldn't buy him for 20 million now.
No, Livramento.
If we can sell him to City, I would sell him.
And Burn.
I would keep him, but I don't think he's a starting centre-back anymore. Botman's far better.
Botman.
Keep Botman. We need to keep Botman.
Chow.
Keep Malik Chow. He's without him this season, we would have been stuffed with Cher being injured. So yeah, keep Chow. been a good signing. For 35 mil, I think he's been a good signing.
Lewis Hall,
We really need to keep hold of him. He's the best player,
best left back
in the world. You know, it's like having Messi at left back.
Fabian Schär.
This is a tough one because I wish he was 21 again because there was no, like, I've never seen centre back score as good goals as he did, and he is a very good player, but he might just be on the other side of the hill now, and you know, he is on big wages, so I would say sell.
Mr. Bobby would have had him on toast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, midfield.
Oh, he's a handful, isn't he?
Yeah. Who have we got in midfield? Willock?
Sell.
Crap.
Rubbish.
Garbage.
Rubbish.
Bruno?
Well, we can't sell our club captain.
He's off to United, by all accounts.
I don't believe it. Until it happens, I don't believe it.
Tenali.
We need to keep Sandro. We can't sell him.
Voldemort.
We need to keep Waldemar. I think he's been played out of position. When he's been played in his position, we've actually picked up quite a few points. It's only his first season in the Premier League and he's still got 10 goals. He's a link-up player when you watch him. He is a very technical player, but I think he needs other technical players around him. And, you know, a lot of the Newcastle team aren't very technical. They're athletes. They work very hard for the team and they run. But the player always breaks down because there's just a lack of quality in some of the players, like we've mentioned, like Willock.
Murphy. Brought him on to change the game and he lost the game.
Nah, the goal came from Willock losing it. I would keep Jacob Murphy because in the right system, in the low block, his crosses and he can beat a man and put really dangerous crosses in the box.
Visser.
I would cut all the losses with Visser and sell him. I really would.
Alanga.
I would keep him. I would keep Alanga. Was just coming into it. He was scoring. He scored 2 goals at the new camp. I know he's had a bad start, but he was always playing in a counter-attack system. Like Eddie Howe's tried to change the way we play this season because we've faced a lot of teams who are in the lower block. Try to be more technical, and you know sometimes he's been made to look like a headless chicken because he's just used to his pace. He's the fastest player in the Premier League, and he's good on the counter. I would keep him and work with him because I think there's potential there.
Harvey Barnes.
I would keep Harvey Barnes. Yeah, he's a good goal scoring winger. You know, squad rotation. Yeah, we need to keep him.
I think I quite enjoy that he's gone in the England squad as well. He's one Newcastle player that I like seeing in the England squad.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Anthony Gordon.
We need to keep Gordon. Yeah, we do. We need to keep Gordon. He's carried us. He's carried us this season, and he's been asked to do things that he's not. He's been asked to play in the centre forward position. He's not really a centre forward. But he's still scoring goals. He never misses a penalty. He's a dangerous player. He always runs up. He always 9 times out of 10 beats his man and either wins a foul or wins a penalty. Yeah, very, very good player. I'll keep Gordon.
Got the goal in the derby.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, top scorer for us in the Champions League, set records there for the club. Yeah, probably is, I would say, our best player this season, Anthony Gordon.
Speaking of which, he's had some controversy this week because he came out and said that Newcastle shouldn't have lost twice against Sunderland because they weren't a very good team. Kevin Phillips has come out in defence of Sunderland and said, well, you've lost twice, so clearly they're all right. What do you make of that?
I think he's right. I think it's true. I think he's got a point what he's saying, but when we've faced Sunderland, we've just been depleted and knackered.
We're a point ahead.
Yeah, but you know, you went out the cups to like 2 League One teams. You've only had the league to go for.
You've had 10 years on us though.
That's fair, but we can't. I'm not going to say Sunderland are a bad team, but I don't think they're a better team than Newcastle on paper. I think Newcastle have just underachieved this season. But yeah, I do agree with what he's saying. Sunderland aren't a really good team to watch. They're just battlers, and they out-battled us, and they fully deserved both victories.
Tactically, it was a masterclass from Labrie. And you can't deny it. We set up for that game to not concede in the first half, albeit we made that, or I made that mistake, and then come out in the second half where you would be tired and actually play some football, which we did. The 2 goals that we scored were really well worked. And if you look at the mistake that we made, if he'd got that right, that would have been well worked as well, but he just miskicked it. He can't be blamed for that. He slipped. But it showed on Sky what we were trying to do because we did it the next goal kick. And I was a nervous wreck because they were playing around, but Newcastle pressed. And the idea was we got the ball over the press and then we were free to attack. And it worked the second time. It just went wrong that time that you scored.
Yeah, bad mistake by Erna, and I still think he's Championship player. The tactics seem to work, like getting it up to Broby. He's a real handful, by the way. Watching him live, he always backs into the centre backs. He's really physical. He can hold the ball up really well, and sometimes that's all you need in the Premier League, to just battle and be physical and put yourself around a bit and be a handful. Like players like Darwin Núñez was always a handful because he was always running in behind and stretching defences. Robbie's a little bit different, where he's more physical, but he's good at holding the ball up and bringing other players into play, letting the wingers overlap him and stuff. And yeah, he's a good player, actually. Yeah, I like him. I like Bobby.
Definitely a handful.
Definitely.
What were you going to say about? Have you got anything good to say about Sunderland?
Yeah, just for a newly promoted side, they've done really well. I think they've overachieved. They hit the points tally fairly early, but they always seem to have a game plan. They've defended throughout the season really well.
That's what it is.
The keeper's been a revelation.
We could have gone and matched Newcastle for intensity, but we'd have lost 3-0. So actually, we've sat back and defended because we're good at defending.
Yeah.
And we've done it to Chelsea. We did it to Arsenal. Just frustrated them. It worked.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what he could do next season. What the goals are, because this season he's achieved his goals of staying up. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do for the rest of the season. I think the job's Regis Labree's next season. He's done a great job, and he's took you up through the playoffs and kept you up in the Premier Leagues.
And that's with a really rough patch in the middle as well. Like, we weren't great a few weeks ago. Coming into the derby, we've been shocking.
This is where the pressure went off at Sunderland a little bit, and they tried to play football. But sometimes these derbies come around and they're really good for a team, or they're really bad for a team. I think it came at the wrong time for Newcastle.
Beat you next week. If it wasn't the international break, we'd play you and we'd beat you.
Nah.
Not bothered.
Nah. This is what, frustratingly, at the start of the season, with all players fresh, I think Newcastle thump you, but this is not an excuse. Sunderland have played well, but we should be winning. We should be beating them. We should be, but we're not, and that's why Eddie's under a little bit of pressure now. So
talk me through a bit of the atmosphere, because you were at the game. So a bit of the atmosphere before people started crying. What was it like?
It was good. Yeah, the build up to the game was good. We got in the stadium a little bit early, and we went out because Warfags put on a big display, a bit more classy, I would say, than Sunderland. Wasn't as much shithousery. We were more welcoming our younger, smaller brothers back to the Premier League.
It was sarcasm, though. It said, "Welcome to the North East capital. You've been gone for so long."
The region's capital, yeah. But yeah, welcome back. No, disrespecting Sunderland by calling us, the visitors or anything like that.
Got to get in the head.
Really good. The Tifo was awesome. I thought the flag display was awesome. The crowd were really up for it at the start of the game. But also just a really good advert again for the North East, and showcasing how important the derby is for this region. I can take from it a good point that at least we'll have another 2 derbies next season. And we might even have a 3rd or 4th if we meet each other in the cup.
We'll see.
Game on.
Yeah, the derby is massive in the northeast. People who aren't from around here probably don't understand it. It's different to the Manchester derby or the Merseyside derby. I've been in the pub there, and people are still talking about it 4 days later.
Yeah,
their emotions on the day, how it made them feel, how the workmates were turning up on Monday and Tuesday. Either devastated or delighted. People don't get it.
Yeah, and this Manchester derby, there's 2 big teams in Manchester. This is 2 cities that are 12 miles apart. It's completely different. It's more ferocious. And for me, it's the best derby in the land. It's better than the North London derby. How many teams are in London? Every other week there's a London derby. There's nothing like this, I'm afraid. And as frustrating as it was to be there and lose, it was still electrifying when we scored and thought that we were going to get our revenge, but it wasn't to be. Credit to Sunderland, they deserved the win against us. So
fair enough. I guess we'll leave the derby there then. England squad, Trent.
I've not seen much of him play since he went to Madrid, but I know he's starting to start games again.
He's good enough to get in. 35-man squad. Something's happened there.
Why do you think he's left him out then?
They must have fallen out. Something's gone on, because if you pick him a 35-man squad, Trent gets in it. He's better than Jed Spence.
Yeah,
he just is. Ollie Watkins is not in it either. And it's
yeah, but he's 30 now, isn't he? And he's not he's not been that prolific this season. I think a lot of Villa fans are getting on his case actually for the amount of chances he's wasted or missed. So yeah, apart from Harry Kane, we haven't really got a backup.
No, we're doomed if Harry Kane gets injured. I wouldn't be taking Calvert-Lewin either because that's an injury waiting to happen. Danny Welbeck, maybe.
It's the players. Yeah. I could see that. But what about Liam Delap? He's had an injury this season, but he's not really. He's always been behind João Pedro, but I don't really think he's been given a good run of games to get himself fit and.
He's going to be in
scoring.
England squad at some point, but maybe this World Cup might be too soon. It's a bit like, people were saying Max Down should be going.
Max Dowman?
Owen, yeah. So,
oh, no. He's 16, isn't he?
Well, exactly, but people are just getting carried away, I think, with some certain players. Yeah. Nick Pope's not even in the squad. Not going, is he?
Isn't he? Well, there's no surprise there, actually. I mean, yeah, he's been terrible. He's been terrible all season. I could count, maybe 10 clangers that have led to us conceding directly from his mistakes. Throwing away points in the Champions League. You could argue that if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't. We might have progressed automatically and had to play that extra game against Karabag, and the season might have took a different turn. I don't think he should wear the Newcastle jersey ever again. I'm done with him. I'm sorry to say, Nick, but I'm done.
Need a change of Pope.
Yeah.
Who else? Well, what are you thinking of England then in the World Cup? Not going to win it, are we?
No. Because the same sort of the same problems come up as what has faced Newcastle this season when English players come up against a really technical side like a Spain midfield,
Brazil,
a South American team that are really technical on the ball. They just get outplayed. They simply get outplayed. Newcastle have this season, and a lot of English players in the Prem have represented the clubs over Europe this season. What's happened? City got destroyed. Chelsea got annihilated. Newcastle got spanked.
Spurs got spanked.
Spurs, wow. Arsenal, Eze, Saka, Rice. I really wanted to see them beat City, actually. But again, it's Arteta up against a technical footballing team, and those players. I just don't think England will ever get close to a cup.
I really hope we do.
Which is a shame. It's a shame to say, but I don't believe it.
If anyone can win it, a German can. Anything else? Any more topics that you want to talk about?
All right. Do you think Sunderland will finish higher than Newcastle? Trend that we've seen from Newcastle all season, starting games well, then end up conceding. We can't keep a clean sheet. We concede a lot of goals with the games. Even when we've been 2-0 ahead, sometimes we've conceded. Or Sunderland, we've got Tottenham next. They're battling. They'll have a bit more momentum after the Derby win. Who do you think is going to finish higher?
It's a tough one, right? Because Sunderland's season is pretty much over. We're safe. That's all we wanted, is to be safe. We weren't even looking at Newcastle. We were just thinking 19th is good. Obviously, we've surprised ourselves really of how good we've been, and then we've done the double as well. So season's finished. So whether the players can still get up for it, I don't know. We certainly weren't in the run up to the Derby. The 3 or 4 games, we were shocking. We just didn't look up for it. We've had a lot of injuries, but when those players come back, I think some of them will be looking to put themselves in the window for a transfer maybe to a bigger club, which is the model that we've gone for.
Yeah.
So will we finish above Newcastle? I think Newcastle have more of a point to prove. So you might pick up 4 points.
You're only 6 points off 5th place, and that's Europa League.
I know. I don't want to qualify for Europe, if I'm honest.
But
I'd turn it down.
Look who above you. Look who above you that you've got results against. So you got a result against Arsenal at home. You got draw against City.
We felt our own against.
I don't know. Have you played Man United at home?
No.
So you still play Man U.
We've held our own against people.
How did you do at Old Trafford?
Yeah, we got beat. We were in the game though.
Yeah.
But for a mistake.
Villa? I don't know. Liverpool? I know you got a draw down Anfield.
Yeah, we got beat at home.
Chelsea, you beat them away. Have you got them to play still? He doesn't know. He's all he cares about. Newcastle. This is a typical Sunderland fan.
Literally. Being the underdogs and winning is just...
His brain's gone. He's still shell-shocked.
I am.
Brentford, how have you done against them this season?
We not great. We beat them, I think. We beat them at home and then got beat away.
So fair points.
But I don't want to get into Europe because it happens to all the clubs. a sort of Conference League, Europa League. At West Ham, look at Forest, look at Palace, Spurs. They don't have squads that can compete on four fronts. They just don't, and we won't next season.
Yeah, I think there's only two teams that have squads that can go for the quadruples and the trebles, and that's only City and Arsenal. I don't think Man United have a squad to cope with Europe next season.
No, they'll get found out next year when they start playing more than one game a week.
Yeah, I mean, I know Newcastle beat them with 10 men, but that was the second game that they played that week. And I said, that's what happens when Man U play two games a week. Villa haven't really got the squad, but I still think they've got the greatest manager aside from Pep. I think Unai Emery's probably the best manager out of the top 6 clubs at the moment, and that's I think he's better than Arteta. I think he's better than Carrick. He's better than Arne Slot, and he's better than Liam Rosenior. So
definitely,
I think we'll bounce back, but I think we'll finish, and we'll just miss out on Euro because we still got Arsenal to play at the Emirates, and we never get anything down there.
Apart from financially, it might be a blessing to not have that Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday game and just to play Premier League and maybe a cup run. Really quickly, Spurs, Forest or West Ham?
You know what? I'm going to go with Tottenham. I think Tottenham, I really do think they'll go down. I think just the way the games are landed, the running's a bit harder. West Ham's got Wolves next. Forest already beat them in the 6-pointer 3-0.
They were bad.
Like I said earlier, like Tottenham got the stadium alight, still on a high from the derby, and it's been a very tough place to go all season. Just can't see where they get a win, where they get another couple of wins from.
It depends.
I think they're doomed.
It depends who they bring in, because I think Tudor's gonna step down, isn't he? Because his dad died as well, but the results weren't there anyway.
No.
And who they bring in is so important for the last 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, this is where I think the door's still open for Newcastle. And I know you're saying you don't want it, but
it's a PE teacher.
Yeah, they're not what they used to be. Chelsea, are they? Let's be honest. They're just not. They're full of I would say star boys, but no one performs for the team or plays for the shirt, or there's no real
no grit.
There's a lot of good players there, but Cole Palmer's had a bad season and he's only had 1 assist in the Premier League this season. I still think the door's open for Brentford, Everton, Newcastle and Sunderland to challenge the big boys.
And how's it been doing the podcast in your Sunderland shirt? That was the forfeit.
I mean,
it's a nice look.
It's red
and white.
It stinks.
It stinks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and get a shower when I get back. But I don't know if this is, cheap material.
Worn.
A Toon fans wiped the bum on it at one point in time before it was purchased.
Match worn.
Yeah.
If you want to see Chris in the Sunderland shirt, head over to the Facebook, give us a like and give us a subscribe on YouTube. And that's all for this week's episode of the Football Banter Box. Renard will be back next week.
Yeah, I can't believe he's missed this one.
Yeah, he's going to be gutted. We'll all be back next time. All right. How are the lads?